The Richest Man in Babylon, a story that could change how you make money forever. Introduction. A question has been bothering me for days. Why do some people, despite earning a lot of money, end up penniless, while others start from nothing but build enormous fortunes over time? Are they smarter, luckier, or do they know a secret that most of us have never been taught? I searched for the answer in many books on finance. But then I stumbled upon a book that was almost 100 years old, The Richest Man in Babylon. Initially, I thought this would just be a dry book about money. But after only a few chapters, I realized I was wrong, because this book doesn't teach how to make $1 million. It teaches how an ordinary person can become rich. The strange thing is that those principles have existed for over 4,000 years, and even today, they still hold true. If you feel like you work very hard but your money always disappears, if at the end of the month your bank account is still just a few digits, then perhaps this is the story you need to hear. Chapter 1. The Richest City in the World. Close your eyes and imagine, in the middle of a vast desert rises a city with towering walls, standing markets, caravans of camels laden with gold, silver, silk, and rare spices. That is Babylon, one of the richest cities in human history. In that place, there was a man named Arkad, the richest man in Babylon. But what surprised me was, he wasn't born into luxury. He was just a scribe on clay tablets. He worked from morning till night. He received his wages and then spent them all. His life was no different from that of many of us today. Chapter 2. A life-changing question. One day, Arkad asked himself a question. If others can be rich, why can't I? That was the moment everything began to change. Instead of complaining, he sought out people better than himself, asked for advice, learned, listened, and the first lesson he received, just one sentence: keep 1/10 of the money you earn. At first I laughed. Is it that simple? But then I realized that's something most of us have never done. We pay for rent, electricity, food, shopping, entertainment. Money for everyone, except ourselves. Arkad said, pay yourself first. That's the beginning of wealth. Chapter 3. Let money work for you. This is the lesson that has made me think the most. Most people work for money, but the rich make money work for them. It sounds simple, but the difference lies in the action. If you keep 10% of your income, then continue to invest that money. It will generate more money. The new money continues to generate more money. That's the power of compound interest. Albert Einstein once called it the eighth wonder of the world. I don't know if that statement is entirely accurate, but I know if you start early enough, compound interest can change a person's life. Chapter 4. The Trap of Greed. There's a story in the book that I'll never forget. Someone took all their savings accumulated over many years and gave it to someone with no investment experience, just because they believed the promise: very high returns. The result? They lost everything. Reading this, I suddenly thought about today's era. Cryptocurrency, hot investments, multi-level marketing, enticements of huge profits. The times have changed, but human greed hasn't. Arkad reminds us that don't invest in things you don't understand. Don't listen to advice from people who have never succeeded. Protect your assets before you think about getting rich. Chapter 5. The Most Valuable Asset. I used to think a person's greatest asset was money, but Arkad says, no, that's the ability to make money. Knowledge, skills, experience. No one can take those things away. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every time you fail, they are all increasing your own value. That's an investment that never loses value. Chapter 6. Winners don't wait. There's a sentence in the book that I had to underline. Opportunity doesn't wait for the hesitant. How many times have we said, I'll save next month, I'll invest next year, I'll start when I have more money. But then nothing changes. The difference between the rich and the poor, sometimes it's just that one person starts earlier. The end. When I closed the book, I realized wealth doesn't start with the money you have. It starts with your habits. A coin saved today can become a fortune after many years. A book you read today can change the way you see your whole life. Perhaps that's why The Richest Man in Babylon is still passed down after almost a century, not because it promises to make you rich overnight, but because it reminds us of a very simple truth. No one becomes rich by luck forever. People get rich through small decisions repeated every day. If today you only remember one thing from this story, then remember this. Let the first coin you save today become your first employee for the rest of your life. And who knows, years from now, you might smile when you realize all the changes began from this very moment. Please subscribe to the channel to listen to great books every day. Thank you.